Now, the Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky has condemned comments by the former German Chancellor Gerhard Schröder, suggesting that Russia wants to negotiate a solution to its war of aggression. Schröder is refusing to cut his close personal ties with Russian leader Vladimir Putin and is facing an investigation by his own party, the Social Democrats.
It was a self-styled diplomatic mission to the Kremlin. Vladimir Putin's spokesman confirmed that former German Chancellor Gerhard Schröder met the Russian president on a Moscow visit last week. In an interview with German media, Schröder said that Putin wants a negotiated solution to the war in Ukraine and that the recent grain deal could be slowly expanded into a ceasefire. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky made clear what he thought of the former Chancellor's diplomatic efforts.
It is simply disgusting when former leaders of major states with European values work for Russia, which is at war against these values. Russia is using these people as messengers to say that the terrorist state allegedly wants negotiations.
Gerhard Schröder is a long-standing friend of Putin's. Soon after leaving office in 2005, he accepted a job with Russian energy company Gazprom and later became chairman of the supervisory board of another Russian energy giant, Rosneft. Schröder has refused to distance himself from the Russian leader. In March, shortly after Russia invaded Ukraine, he traveled to Moscow to meet Putin, his wife posting this picture of herself praying for peace with the Kremlin in the background. Schröder has been scorned for his continued ties with Russia. Some of his privileges as a former chancellor have been withdrawn, and he is facing an investigation by his party, the Social Democrats, over his Kremlin links.
And for more on the story, I'm joined now by DW politics correspondent Nina Hase. Hi, Nina. We just heard Volodymyr Zelensky saying in that report that Putin is using Schröder as a messenger. Is there any sense at all in German government circles that the former chancellor could play a serious mediation role in this conflict?
Well, Zelensky's reaction is pretty much mirrored here in the German press today as well. People call Schröder Putin's puppet, etc. You mustn't forget that Gerhard Schröder is suggesting getting Nord Stream 2, so that controversial gas pipeline we've all been talking about so much, that he's getting that going to make up for the lack of gas deliveries via Nord Stream 1 from Russia. But what he doesn't mention is that he, Gerhard Schröder himself, is the president of the board of directors of Nord Stream 2. So he'd benefit personally, and that is reason enough to doubt that he could be the neutral mediator he's pretending to be. And yet he is still the only high-ranking politician in his party who still has links to Putin. But as far as government circles are concerned, politicians here from his own party keep telling us that Schröder is acting on his own behalf and definitely not in the name of the government. It is possible that back in February, when the war first escalated, that some considered using him as an unofficial mediator. But since then, Schröder really has completely sidelined himself here in Berlin with statements that repeat the Russian view word by word and make it look essentially as though the German government is lying.
You've mentioned his party, the SPD. They've more or less disowned him. He's currently facing an internal investigation. What exactly is it that his party, the SPD, is investigating?
Well, the SPD is looking into 17 official requests to kick him out of the party because of his close ties with Russia and in particular with Russian state-owned energy companies. So the party itself says that it is not too optimistic that they'll be successful in kicking him out for legal reasons. What's working in favour here of Schröder is that Schröder did leave the supervisory board of energy giant Rosneft in May, and he also didn't accept a nomination to a post at the supervisory board of Gazprom after a lot of pressure on him. So the SPD say that they will present the result of that investigation in a few days, next Monday, and Schröder can then appeal the decision and the legal battle could drag on for a while.
Do you think that with his lobbying on behalf of Putin and the Russian gas industry, do you think that that could even lead to him being sanctioned by the government?
It's not looking like it at the moment. The European Parliament back in May spoke out in favour of imposing EU sanctions on Gerhard Schröder because of his activities at Rosneft, and then he did leave Rosneft, so that's not looking very likely.
DW's Nina Hauser, thanks so much for that.